Hey y'all, the newest Marvel series, Miss Marvel, is officially here, and I am crazy excited about it. This first episode, I think, delivers immensely and right away what we expected from the trailer. We even got the sneak peek of this very sketchy artist, like, collage style elements that we see in the show. You can really feel that the overall production design of this show and the tone is really stylistic compared to a lot of other things we see in the MCU. Talk about like a pilot of a show or a series. You want to introduce the characters, you want to set the tone for the story and kind of teach the viewer how to watch the show, because every show has its own visual language, stylistic differences, editing style, all those kind of things. And I think here, although I think narration can sometimes come across really cliche, the way that it is diegetically woven into the story here, with Kamala making a YouTube video and kind of getting to see her drawings and have this really like fantastical look at what the MCU can look and feel like for someone within that world. This first episode has just done a magnificent job of kind of getting you into the mindset of Kamala Khan and getting to know not only her, what her day-to-day with her family looks like through her fan art, her YouTube channel, and all of these little things that she's doing. I just really love the attention to detail for what a young fan feels. And obviously, I haven't gotten to dive deep into Kamala Khan's comic history, but I know that this is something that's been a focus of hers since the very beginning. And I also know Iman Vellani, who plays Kamala Khan, is also a huge Marvel fan. And I also feel like represented because fan art, the YouTube channel, the graphic tees, like I just feel like I know her so well. And those are things that we've only gotten about 30 minutes of screen time with her, and yet I feel more connected to her than characters that I've seen in a couple different films and movies now, because they just nailed her character introduction, and it's something that I can very deeply relate to, and I really love that. And it's an intangible element that maybe if you didn't grow up loving Marvel and you don't understand the nuances of somebody thinking that you're kind of crazy, especially as you get older, for still loving and caring so deeply about these things. I just need you to know how represented I feel by her personality traits and how much I am obsessed with her because of the different things that she does and the way she explains things and just the way that she sees the world, because I very much feel like I can identify with that. I love this mashup of her cultural background with this very corporatized or mainstream like MCU, and how you find your identity through a combination of those things. And that's what I feel like this series has set out to explore, is how she's going to figure out how to do both of those things as she gets used to her powers and stuff. It feels so authentic, and I really love that. The direction is amazing and really adds to that. The different camera shots, angles, the way that this is filmed is in such a fun, spunky little way that I just absolutely adore it. And it very much reminds me in tone, in subject matter, to Turning Red. It's so good at viewing the world the way a young girl would, and how a young girl sees the world in the way that it could and should be, rather than the way it actually is, which you actually get to see both aspects of that in this series, because you see Kamala explaining through her drawings what her and Bruno are going to do to get to the Avengers Con, which I desperately want to go to now. But then you see like the way it actually happens and how it sort of disappoints her. And again, something I relate to, being a young girl and loving all of these things so passionately and having people not understand that or recognize it, like that just hits home, and I just really love it in this series. This series is really doing, I think, what Spider-Man was able to accomplish with his introduction into the MCU, of this young kid who is a little naive, just wants to get in the world and help people, but doesn't necessarily know how to go about it the right or best way. And Kamala feels exactly like that. The more direct on-screen connection to Spider-Man, but it's a very subconscious thing in your mind that you connect the two, is having one of Spider-Man's teachers be her driver's ed teacher, and then having the end credit scene, which Marvel just changing it up on us and having a post-credit scene in the first episode, like what? But having the government prosecutor guy from No Way Home in this series. And I think the best part of that, which kind of sneaks into my theories for this show is that this kind of ties into if you've played the Avengers game on Xbox. In that game, government is trying to kind of hunt down superheroes because they're sort of cutting down on people who have superpowered, like the Avengers sort of break up. It's a whole thing. Highly recommend. The story of the game is really good. I really need to finish it eventually, but I'm really bad at it. I think that that's going to be the ultimate external antagonist for the show, as well as that being the antagonist for her superhero life, and then the antagonism for her personal life is the fact that her family feels like she's going a different path than them, and kind of the balance between her passions and then some of her cultural influences in her life. I do think that Captain Marvel is going to show up by the end of the series, if not in the final episode of the show, in the post-credit scene, which is probably not like that great of a theory, but I have to say it. And then I also think it's because he's adorable in the way that he looked at her when he gave her photonic gloves. I think she's going to end up with Bruno. She's going to like some other guy first, but she's going to end up with Bruno, and I hope, because they're adorable. Anyways, those are my thoughts on Miss Marvel. What did you think of the first episode of this newest Marvel show? Please leave me a comment down below letting me know your thoughts, and be sure to like this video if you enjoyed my review. I will be doing them weekly. Please be sure to go down below and hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so when the reviews go live, you don't miss a thing. Thank you again so much for watching this video. I so appreciate you. I hope you have an absolutely amazing day or night whenever you're getting to watch this, and I will see you all in my very next video. Bye, everyone.